was this dude recruited from Southern Indiana going to Northwestern. And God, I was like, I can't wait to see this because so my family's from, have you been to Indianapolis, I assume?
Oh, millions of times.
So my grandpa was St. Elmo's Steakhouse.
Oh,
And
no kidding.
so Harry and Izzy's, he was Izzy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
big indie guy here,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah. That's a
Um,
staple. Anybody who visits the city, that's where they go.
right? Shrimp cocktail.
Ooh,
So,
that'll
um,
cheer you up.
so here I'm like, man, there's this dude coming that Chris recruited. And Liddy, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So him and I are talking. He's like, dude, you're gonna love this kid. All right, bro, you literally had the green light to shoot whatever you want, and that's exactly what I would have done. Um, I haven't even introduced this guy, Bryant Mcintosh, assistant coach at Northwestern. I got so ahead of myself because I love his game. I saw him a year ago at practice, and the first thing I did, I went up with my son. I was like, dude, and I totally fanboyed over him because you play the game the right way. You played super hard
Mhm.
and you shot the shit out of that ball.
Yeah, I could shoot a little bit. I could shoot a little
You
bit.
shot the shit out of that. And Chris gave you the keys, man. And I loved it. I,
Yeah, no, I was really fortunate to find a situation that allowed me to come in and have an immediate impact. That was really important. But he really gave me a lot of freedom and a lot of opportunity early to get my feet wet. And I was baptized in the fire a little bit with the Big Ten as a freshman, like 165 pounds soaking wet. So
yeah.
I'm really fortunate that coach, believed in me, and the program was in a situation where he was just building it. So to
Uh-huh.
come in right then and there gave me a great opportunity to learn and grow and have those spaces where I could really take advantage of it.
Was Scotty Lindsay on the team with you around that time?
Yeah, Scott was in my recruiting class. So my recruiting class was Vic Law. A lot of
Oh,
Chicago
yeah.
people would know.
Yeah, of course.
We actually had Johnny Vassar too.
Yep.
Was part of that recruiting class with Scott, and then we had Gavin Skelly. So that was it was a big recruiting class that I would say coach really knocked out of the park, being his first one as a head coach.
I'm going to tell you a Scotty Lindsay story. I don't know. Do you know what happened to him on his visit to Vanderbilt?
I do, yeah, I do.
So I want to share that story with people so they, because that's real.
It's
That's
yeah, it's
real,
very much real.
real. So Scotty has not committed yet. He has offers from Iowa, Northwestern, Vanderbilt was considering, and he goes down for a workout. And in a game, he jumps up and legitimately breaks multiple bones in his leg.
Yeah, yeah,
He Here's where he's a badass. He sat in Pat Woods's car in the back seat the whole car ride home so they can get to the hospital here.
yeah.
And Chris was the one who stuck with him.
Yeah, he always tells us about Iowa. He really liked Iowa as
Yep.
well. And he they kind of wanted him basically to go to prep school to see how he
Yep.
would handle everything. And I give coach a lot of credit. Coach was probably the one that was most bought into Scott. He always tells the story about he kind of saw him. A lot of people were recruiting him at the mid-major level, and a few high majors, like you mentioned, were recruiting him. But coach was like, man, he's gonna be good. He can really score. He can really shoot. And he loved him, loved his game. And yeah, when he broke his leg, a lot of people kind of backed off or were unsure. And I give coach a lot of credit. He's like, no, we love you. We believe in you. You're gonna bounce back. You're gonna be fine. I think it helped too that coach's son actually had broken his leg when he was young. So there was a little bit of a soft spot in coach's heart there too, having went through that with his own son. So that was a unique situation, but it really paid off for us. Scott was a great player.
Man, so he played for my AAU company, Illinois Old School.
Old school.
Yeah, man, we had dogs. We had
You guys,
dogs.
I played against you guys a few times in like some back
Dude,
jams. Yeah.
what team did you play for?
I think when I played for you guys, it was Indiana Elite. So it was Indiana Elite and then like Eric Gordon All Stars.
Yep,
Trying to
yep.
remember which team it was, but we played. I remember playing Scott. So when he, because Indiana State was also recruiting him when I originally
Yeah,
committed to Indiana State,
that's right.
and they were recruiting him. So I was actually recruiting him to Indiana State, and then I end up actually opening things up, and I go to Northwestern, and next thing I know, like I'm on a visit and Scott's in his wheelchair with his broken leg and he's coming to Northwestern with me. So it's just always like small world with basketball and obviously Midwest kids playing.
Um, you know who my son's favorite human is?
No, no.
He's a Northwestern guy.
Is it Boo?
No, but Boo's been nice to him.
Okay. Trying to think. Juice? Yeah,
Love, dude.
Juice is the man.
We were walking at night the other day from Mariano's, and Jonah's like, can we FaceTime Juice? I haven't talked to him in a while. And I'm like, bro, it's like 10 o'clock there. He's probably in a recruiting meeting or something. And he's like, please, please, can we FaceTime him? And I'm like, tomorrow, though, man. Tomorrow, tomorrow.
That's
We'll catch him before breakfast.
that's
Uh,
funny.
but I have told Juice that you, once you got out on that court, you kind of became first in my head over Juice. I still love number 22.
Oh man, I love Juice. I gotta tell this story. You'll enjoy this story. It
Yes.
was my freshman summer, and Juice came back to visit and was kind of just around. And he came up to me. He's like, "Man, I heard you're the next one." I was like, I don't know." He's like, "Yeah, but you're not gonna break my assist record." I said, "Yes, I will." I
Yep.
straight up, and he was like, "What? You're gonna?" I was like, "I'm telling you, I'm gonna break your assist record."
I could see this conversation too.
And I think he respected me from that moment because he saw like I was quiet. I was always very quietly confident, and
Mhm.
I think he respected that because originally I think he was kind of testing me, and I think I passed the test. But that's always like the funny. Every time I see him, I always think of like that first meeting where he was kind of just like, Are you really going to be like as good as what people were kind of saying?" So that's always a funny story I think back on.
He's the best, man. He's such a nice guy.
He's the best.
Um, I
Great
told him
energy.
once, I told him once, I said, hey man, don't take offense to this. I said, when I met you, I hated you because you were so nice. I go, you're just so likable. I was like trying to find something. And
No,
I mean, he's had some big games. He played overseas. He won championships in Africa, and he's so humble.
yeah, he is. He is very humble, easy to get along with.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited for him. I think he kind of always was unsure if he wanted to be in the college basketball space, and I think this opportunity kind of opened up for him, and
Yeah,
there's quite a few Northwestern people over there at
I
Iona.
heard that.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. I think he could be a star in the business.
You know what? Every time I text with him, Brian, every time, airplane, airport, hotel, high school gym,
Hmm.
or an Uber going.
Somewhere. Yeah, on his way.
And for some people, they're like, oh God, that sounds awful. If it's awesome.
It's the best.
It's the best.
It's the
It's so
best.
awesome.
Like it's
I
it's
was just telling someone the other day, the UIC head coach, I had Rob on. And I said to him, I go, I've been around so long, I know so many people, but all my connections are like young guys, like John Clancy at Ball State, young guy, Juice Thompson, young guy, right? Um, I think I started this to kind of build my network to
hmm
maybe eventually leave my wife and kids Monday through Friday. And you know what I mean? I never thought because of your grind, I was like, right? But I've sat down with so many guys like you in the last month
Yeah.
that it kind of sparked my fire again. And, as you can see, you and I have never like really formally met, right? And
Yeah.
instantaneous, it's just like two dudes talking.
Yeah.
and juices grind. I get a little like, would I want to do that? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no
go
doubt.
evaluate kids, build relationships, and make dreams happen for families.
Yeah, yeah. And spend time in the gym.
Right?
Like that's not working. That's not working. Like that's like the best thing about the whole gig is you actually get to go, like you said, it's a people business, but just being in the gym, there's something about like the ball and just giving you
100%, man.
life. So no, it's a great, it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's a really hard profession. It's
Correct.
full, all that, but man, it's the best. I really don't. There's nothing else I could do. Like I don't know what else I would be doing in life, which is
I'm
maybe sad, but
Jameer, Dismukes, who's at Long Island.
yeah.
Same thing. Said the same thing. Like, dude, this is, and I was texting with him yesterday. He was in New Jersey, and most people would text, "Hey, man, you see any talent?" You know what my text was? "Hey, is there anywhere good to eat around there?"
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
I mean, that's part of it too, bro.
No, traveling, getting to see different places, meeting different people,
Yeah,
and
man.
seeing where they come from is it's awesome.
And
It's a
then
fun
making
life.
dreams happen for a family.
No question, no question, and especially at like a place like mine that you know every opportunity is life changing. I'm not gonna downgrade that, but you get to come to a top 10 academic institution is life changing, and I mean the price of going here is insane. So to be able to provide full ride scholarships to families that and a lot of them probably couldn't afford it. So I know mine couldn't have done this. So
You know what
having
would
that
sell me as a dad? I'll tell you. Not you. I love you. Not you. Not Chris. Not Chris. Brian James.
yeah, Coach J.
Having access to that brain.
Yeah,
Come on, man. You have an NBA guy
I
on
know.
the bench that is at such a high level that he could transform your game to a high level. I
Yeah.
guarantee here, Pat Ambrose, the Stevenson legend, high IQ, amazing guy, genius. But there's still stuff that Brian James sees, but
Hmm.
none of us, right? And for me, I would be
Yeah.
like, yep, take him, take my
Yeah.
son, beat the
No.
shit out of him. I don't care. Um, and I hope my son is a sponge while you talk.
No. Your son loves the game, so I'm sure he'll
He doesn't have a
listen
choice.
to everybody who gets on your show because you've done a great job of getting amazing people and amazing. You have an amazing resource of and a network that he can really dive into. But I mean, I was thinking about it the other day. I think this is Coach James' like 50th year
Yeah,
just coaching basketball.
yeah.
Like,
Started, I think he was at GBN.
he's been he's bopped all over the place. Obviously, Coach Collins at GBN. We always joke like, man, you let him take 30 shots and it's parlayed into you being an NBA coach and a college basketball coach for 30 years or something. So I think this
Pretty confident. I'm pretty confident CC let Mr. McIntosh do
is
whatever the hell he wanted as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's worked out. It's all worked out. We all have a very common bond. One of us got to shoot a lot and have the ball in their hands a lot, and it's paid off for a lot of us. So
I
no,
I remember texting people when you were playing, and I'd be like, "Boy, does that kid get a green light!" Like, I loved it.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
I
Coach
love
gave
it.
me a lot of
Listen, I
freedom.
don't love it if you're not a shooter, but if you're a shooter, here, one of my man up shirts that my kids wear says, "Shoot to get hot, shoot to stay hot,"
Yeah, yeah.
right? And shooters shoot no matter what.
Shoot or shoot.
Man, so yeah, man, I used to love it. So let's dive into something. You come out of your mother in Southern Indiana and tell me how basketball started.
Well, it's funny, like my first day out of the hospital, my parents always tell me this is my first day out of the hospital. My mom took me to my dad's game because he was coaching. So I just come from a high school basketball coach. I'm a high school basketball coach's son. So that's how I was introduced to the game. And I always tell everybody, like, I just remember going to practices at a young age and everybody has always complimented me, quite honestly, on like my touch, how I shoot floaters and all that. But I tell everybody I learned how to shoot a floater on a pull-up bar against a manager in Spiceland, Indiana. So it's just
What's the closest biggest town to Spiceland, Indiana?
Newcastle, Indiana. That's home of like Steve Alford, Kent
Yep.
Benson, and there's a lot of other high major, mid major players that came from there. Zach Hahn, Chase Stiegel, that played on the Butler team that went to the national championship. So it's a very rich basketball. It's actually Newcastle's has the largest and finest high school gym in the world. So it seats almost 10,000 people. So
Where did Damon Bailey play?
Bedford, North Lawrence. So that's way
Ah,
south.
okay.
So I actually grew up in like the east, right near Newcastle, like the the
That's
east
south of
side.
Indy, right?
Yeah, Newcastle is east of Indy, and then
Indy.
when I in high school I moved to Greensburg, which is like the southeast side of the state, in between Cincinnati and
Okay.
Indianapolis.
Okay.
So I grew up in Newcastle and was around a lot of great coaches, and that's kind of where I learned the game and was introduced to the game. Obviously, being around a high school coach every single day and going to practice, you're consumed with it. You watch games at night, eating popcorn, and you're kind of born into it. But I always give my parents a lot of credit for they never pushed me. Like I fell in love with the game myself, and then it was on me to ask like, hey, Dad, can we go work out? Dad, can we go do this? It was always on me to
Mhm.
want to be great. But I was fortunate enough to be around a lot of great coaches and players to learn from them.
My son doesn't have a choice. I'm just playing. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. We're actually we're gonna drive down to U of I and go to practice in the morning. Uh,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to blow up Underwood's head to see if I can get him on my pod. I'm friends with Zach Hamer.
Yeah. Yep. GBN
So
guy.
yeah, yeah. So um, I told him. So I have a bunch of kids that are like freshmen and sophomores there. So we're gonna go down. My son's gonna go party at a frat house tonight.
I love it. Good for him.
I can't wait to. I mean, the kids love him. They've known Jonah since he was born, right? So my little biracial kid with his little earrings, I can't wait. Um, so I want to tell you a story about Bedford, Indiana.
Okay.
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 You're gonna laugh. So it's common knowledge that I like the other race called black, and that's who my wife is. So I married Kia. We dated for 2 weeks and got married. I've been married 15 years. So I am coaching AAU
Okay.
in an Adidas tournament in near Bedford. Um,
I already know where this is going.
you definitely know. So I always knew, listen, my family went to IU. So when we would drive through Martinsville, Indiana, my dad would say, roll up the windows and lock the doors, right? And we would hide our Jewish stars. So um, we'd
Mhm.
walk into a Bob Evans.
Okay.
Bro, I've never experienced this. I'm from Glenview, man. So
Right.
hold on. People have their silverware. They're eating. All of a sudden, we walk in, they drop it and
Yeah.
stare at us. We skedaddled out of there like cockroaches under a light. We ended up having like a gas station Danish, like out of a wrapper. And
Yeah.
then I went to coach. And my wife and I still laugh about that to this day. We're not people that get offended. I don't let other people's, behavior change who I am. And but we still laugh, dude. Like you could hear all the silverware. Click, 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 click,
Oh
click.
yeah. Yeah. No, there's some Southern
Oh,
Indiana parts that are haven't maybe progressed where they need
have
to.
not progressed. It's a good way to say it, Brian.
Yeah,
That's a good way.
thanks. That's Northwestern
Um,
educated right there.
but I mean, for most people, it'd be like an offensive story. My wife and I still pee our pants because you can hear like in sync all the silverware hitting in the plates. Um, thank God. I mean, can you imagine if they knew I was Jewish and they saw she was black? Oh man, a double whammy. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Bro, I can hear my father in heaven right now saying that would have been nuts.
Yeah, that would have. Yeah, those reactions would have been interesting to hear.
I love it, man. I mean, realistically, they're not bad. They just don't know any better. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, they're
it.
just not
They're
they
just not aware of what else is out there.
not aware, and it's just a rural community that
Yeah.
there's just not black people there.
There's
Like,
not diversity at
yeah,
all.
there's no
Right.
diversity in the area.
Even religion, you
No,
know.
everyone goes to the same church.
Yep.
Like it just yeah, it's small town.
I can't even imagine. Um, so you end up, Chris recruits you. You end up going there after you committed to Indiana State.
Yeah, my junior year, I really wasn't a big fan of the recruiting process. Like I just, for whatever reason, it just was a lot to me. And I was kind of like self-driven on just I want to be a really good player.
Yep.
And at the time, Indiana State was coached by Greg Lansing, and he did an unbelievable job recruiting me. And I really wasn't getting attention from high majors. You know, Indiana and Purdue would have me to campus, but they were just kind of like I was on a back burner. They weren't thinking about me. They weren't recruiting me really. So, you know, Greg did a great job. He recruited the mess out of me. Did an unbelievable job. And it was like January of my junior year, and I was just like, why would I go anywhere else when the head coach at a school loves me, wants me to come, believes in
Yep.
me, he's going to give me an opportunity. Like what else am I looking for? And so I committed, and then I played out my junior year. We actually end up winning the state championship. And after I committed, it's funny. I tell everybody, like, after a kid commits, you're about to see their best basketball because all the pressure's off. They're not trying to impress anybody else, and they're just thinking about playing. And I started playing great. And then the April live period comes out, and I'm playing the best basketball in my life. And then I start to hear some things, you know, and some people work some back doors, and it kind of causes me to be like, maybe I rushed this.
Yeah.
And so I end up opening it back up, and I'll never forget the like anxiety I felt because I knew I was in a secure place with a coach that believed me to open it back up, and people really weren't watching me. And I went, and I'll never forget, I played D'Angelo Russell, who played at Ohio State, Quentin Snyder played at Louisville, and Jaquan Lyle ended up playing a little bit at Ohio State. And I got like 30, and I played great. And there was a ton of people there. And coach was one of them. He came that day. And that's when my recruitment kind of blew up. And you know, at the end of it, it turned out to be like Purdue, Northwestern, Xavier a little bit. And again, it was just a situation where coach believed in me, and you could feel it just the way we connected. I grew up a huge Duke fan. I was the biggest JJ Redick fan in the world. So I just,
I'm shocked.
yeah,
Shocked.
I mean, not shocking, right? But you know, those stories and how they connected, and coach being his best man in his wedding, like those were just unbelievable. And I just felt like we could have that kind of relationship. So it was pretty easy. I remember coming up on my visit, I brought my whole family. At the time, we lived in like, for a long time growing up, we was like my both grandparents, my parents, my brother and sister all in one house. And so we all came up, and my godfather came up, and we visited Northwestern for a day and a half. And as we were like pulling out and going down Green Bay, my grandma turned around. She's like, "What are you waiting for? Like, why didn't you commit?" And I was like, "I thought we needed to all talk about it. Like, I value everybody's opinion." They're
Yep.
like, "We were waiting on you to do it." So, you know, about about a month later, I end up committing when coach was able to come and do his in-home. So yeah, that's coach did an unbelievable job just like connecting, and we hit it off quick. And I had a lot felt like we had a lot of similarities and beliefs, and our vision for where we could take this place was, right in line with each other.
Man, I love when people know. You know what I mean? Like when your heart tells you,
Yeah.
people, especially children, make their decision with their brains and their ego, but
Yeah.
you can hear it in your voice that you knew in your heart,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I'm very happy you chose that.
Yeah. It paid off. It paid off.
And I assume when you guys pulled out and you were leaving the campus, your grandma said, "Aren't you going to stop at Buff Joe's?"
Yeah. No, we had to be educated on Chicago, Evanston food. We had to be educated. They did a great job. That on the visit they took us to Lou Malnati's, and it turned out to be, you know, like a perfect storm because Tino ends up being my teammate for 3 years. Or I actually end up when I came back, I was able to be the video coordinator, and he was still on the team as a senior. So it's just such a small world. Obviously, the Malnati family is very well known in the city and beloved by their pizza.
But have you taken them to Buff Joe's?
My family, yeah,
Yes.
you have to. You have to one time or two. They weren't able to come up a ton, but we had it after a couple games and stuff.
I do want to tell you it was way better 15 years ago, or maybe I just got old.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Yeah, I don't know if I just got old or it was, I don't know. But man, we used to hit that place every Friday night.
Nostalgia. Sometimes some of it too is just the memories. I feel like, the food is great, but that's
Yeah.
the memories that you had on the Friday night makes it better.
Absolutely. So give me your most memorable college moment as a player. And please don't give me some generic like story. Give me something that people want to hear.
Um, so I mean, you can always talk about the Michigan game where, we throw the home run pass and Nate Taphorn throws a home run pass to Derek Parr and he catches it and lays it in, the court storms, and that basically solidified us going to the NCAA tournament. That was an unbelievable story, unbelievable night, as it parlayed to enjoying the city of Chicago and coming back, and seeing those two guys on ESPN that next morning was pretty entertaining, knowing how we celebrated. But the most proud moment was seeing our name pop up for the first time as a program being invited to the NCAA tournament on Selection Sunday. And then, my particular favorite moment is always going to be the chaos of being, down one, getting them outlet, coming up the floor, and Vanderbilt fouling, not knowing the time and score, and going up and making both free throws. So to kind of seal us winning the first NCAA tournament game, that was a special moment. I always get mad though because like they don't show free throws on one shining moment. So I feel like I got robbed a little bit of my one shining moment. But that was special. And just that team and how we're bonded forever and stay connected and reminisce on some of those things that we accomplished that year was probably, up there as one of my best years of my life.
I remember, and it was awesome.
It was
I
awesome.
remember very well.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good time. And just to see the fans, because, Northwestern, when I first came, there was not a lot of fan support. Truthfully, the students weren't totally bought in, and to see where we took it and run out in Salt Lake City and see all the purple, all the famous alumni, that was amazing. and then to now see where we are with our new practice facility and our new arena, and then that student section that, is now one of the best in the Big Ten. I just can't believe I can even say that knowing from where it's came from.
And that renovation's awesome. Um, the food's still the same.
You should be a food critic at this point.
I know, I know. It might be due to this disease I have called being fat.
That's not true.
Give me a great high school moment.
Ooh, so my my favorite one is always going to be the first time we won the state championship. We won two in a row my junior and senior year. I was very lucky to have two other guys who played college basketball. One's the all-time leader in percentage, I believe, and made threes at Ball State, and Sean Sellers. And
Yep.
then Ryan Wellich, who actually ended up he if he would have stayed, he would have been San Jose State's all-time leading scorer, but he actually ended up transferring as a grad to play 1 year at Xavier. So we were very we were a very good high school basketball team, especially for a public school. And so we went to the state championship my junior year, and we were down the whole game. Actually, the other team played great. They had a couple, mid-major recruits, and there was about 40 seconds left, and we were down two. Guy made a free throw, and I get the outlet, and there was no hesitation. I was shooting, and I came down, hesitate, pull, like no passes, just come down. The coach, like our high school coach, is like trying to flatten everybody out just to let me go, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm shooting, so I just pull up and I hit the three to tie it with about 30 seconds to go. It ends up going into overtime, and we end up pulling it out, and that was, just the love we felt after winning the first state championship, and the town's history was really special. And then the pressure of having to do it again, because there was expectations, everybody coming back basically on the team to have to do that again. The first one was bittersweet because nobody really saw it coming. The second one was kind of like, we got to do this or we failed. So that first one was really fun.
I never played basketball. How about that? Is that crazy?
That's surprising.
I interview all these guys, I listen to all these stories, and sometimes I want to say like, oh yeah, I understand. I never checked into it. So I grew up in a racist home, which is funny because
That's very ironic.
yes, because we were Jewish, and but my father said there were only two people in the world, Jews and people that hate the Jews. And that's how I was raised. I mean, it really rubbed off on me. I married a black Christian. So I mean, it really like, it really
There's the
stuck,
irony. Yeah.
right? But I never, yeah, I did. I never played. So when I hear these stories, like I was a baseball player and whatever. I did it more for fun because the locker room and the dugout was awesome, right? But I hear these awesome stories and I'm just like, oh, that's what it could have been.
Yeah.
I've never checked into a game. I've never shot a meaningful free throw. I think I played in a men's league with some friends once and we were in bonus and I begged for the ball so I could
So you just
shoot a
shoot free
free throw.
throws.
And they were assholes. They iced me out, Bryant. They iced me out.
That's bad teammates.
Shitty. But they'll ask me to come on the pod. But they'll ask to come on the pod.
Yeah, yeah, they need to. Actually, we should have them on so we can hear some of these stories from their side.
Bro, I was terrible, but you know what I would do? Talk a ton of shit.
Got to.
Always.
Competitive.
We played in some league in Lincoln Park, I remember, and I talked tons and I never scored, but I talked a ton of shit. And I would set really dirty screens, right, to get in your head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then one day, some dude swung but missed me. And I remember when he swung at me, I ducked and I went, ooh. And then everyone got in between because I'm a lover, not a fighter. And yeah, man, I listen to your stories and I first of all, I love it. Second, this is why I created this for this platform. People know you as a player, they know you as an assistant coach, but they don't know how in your journey. And
Hmm.
I can look at Wikipedia, but that's not from the horse's mouth.
Right. Right.
Um, I want to tell you, are you ready for my third grade AAU team years ago?
My third.
My third grade AAU team years ago. Are you ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Nick Martinelli.
Great player.
Shocking you said that.
Great
Uh,
player.
Cooper Nord.
Good player.
Bobby Durkin at Minnesota.
Yeah, he shot it great. He hit two or three threes last night. Played great.
Jackson Paveletzky, who's at Ohio now. He was at Iowa State.
Hmm.
Are you ready? You're not ready. Are you ready? You're not
I'm
ready.
ready.
Danny Wolf.
Yeah, pretty good one. Pretty good one.
Uh, Jeremy Fears played up with them.
You did a good job recruiting.
Um, Back then it was when parents allowed me to do my thing. Now parents have their own agenda, which is so funny because um, every kid that has played for me and like stuck with it, Danny's in the NBA, Spears is at Michigan State. His little brother played for me. He's on the Pelicans. Ryan Cohn played for me. Wash U. Asa Thomas is at Furman. Jack Fitzgerald is helping out at Northwestern.
Hmm.
Right? Everyone's successful,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't play because this world is awful. And if it is, listen, the world doesn't care about your ego. The world's not going to pat you on the back, and nothing's going to be handed to you.
No
So,
question.
you know what I mean? So I was really hard on those boys early. Um, that's a hell of a squad, though, huh?
That's an impressive squad. That is an impressive squad.
And Josh Reynolds, who works for the Clippers, his dad is Chris Reynolds, who was, I think, assistant AD when you were there, but now he's
Yep. He's now the
AD
AD. Yeah,
at
Bradley.
Bradley.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to him a month ago. Um, Dude, loaded.
That's a good squad. You did
But
a good job recruiting.
you know who we would lose to? Titkus Pettigrew and his son Trey and their boys.
Yeah,
And that's
pretty
how
good
I
players
built my
too.
relationship with Pettigrew over these years, just because
Okay.
we had battles.
Yeah. No, those are some good teams, good players. That's good
Oh,
recruiting and good evaluation at a very young age and projecting how good they're going to be.
come on, man. You can tell, man, when a kid walks in. There's puberty and all that, but some kids like Jeremiah Fairs had a lot of shit to him when he was little.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Same
No
thing with his
question.
brother. His brother was Jeremy was super hard nosed. Um,
Hmm.
so I don't know, but they don't build it like that anymore, bro.
No, no, because I mean, to your point, I think back at like my AAU teams. I had Gary Harris,
Yep.
Irvin, who played at Michigan State, Colin Hartman played at Indiana.
Yep.
I mean, I was playing up. I was in first grade. They were in second. We're playing in Orlando. And when I look back on the team, there was seven high major basketball players on my team in third grade or second. They were in second grade. I was in first grade. It's just, to your point, at a young age, like when kids kind of have it or not.
Dude, I used to watch Brady Pettigrew play when he was little.
Yeah.
Jackson Davis was killing people at 5 years old.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, some people, there's a minority that, after puberty,
Yeah. They blossom and
yeah,
some.
but you have an idea.
Yeah,
You have an
you can pick it out.
idea.
Especially you. That's some good
Yep.
recruiting. Especially you. That's good recruiting.
I don't know. I was a good salesman.
I can see that. I
Yeah,
can see
I would always sell a car to a blind person and a radio to a deaf person. I
that.
don't do well with no. Like I was telling Juice, I was like, whenever Jesus decides to give me the opportunity of being a college assistant, because it's his plan, bro. Like people don't know that about me. I'm a big Jesus guy. My wife, Jesus is at the center of our home.
Hmm.
Um, big time. Like my kids know the Bible, but whenever it's his plan, I'm not losing a recruit, baby.
I'll take no for an
Hey,
answer.
no, you should see how good looking my wife is. Do you know how many times she said no when I asked her to marry me? Like
She
I
could have
don't
said
do
no
well with
too
it.
long if it took 2 weeks.
My grandpa, who had the steakhouse, was
Yeah,
obviously a phenomenal salesman, right? For what he
obviously.
had to do every night. But he used to say, if you ever are selling something and you get a no, you're a shitty salesman. He goes, there's always a way to get a yes. You just have to figure it out.
Gotta find a way. Yeah.
Yep. And I said to him, I was like, oh, can I have $100? He's like, no. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it. I still can't figure it out. God bless his heart.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Oh man, I remember he's like, no, and probably put me over his leg and spanked the shit out of me with a Cuban cigar and his brandy. He loved brandy. Well, dude, I want to first thank you for your time, especially the season popped off and you guys are in meetings, recruiting, texting, practice, weight room, film room. Maybe you are you married?
I am married. Yeah.
Maybe you talk to your wife a little bit,
A little bit.
possibly, right?
A little bit. Yeah.
Because you have another wife called the game,
The game.
and you're married to it as well. So thank you for your time. I really, 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 really appreciate it. And I hope my son and I could come up one day and check out practice again. He's actually like into it now, so that's why we're going down to U of I. Um, I want you to leave us with one thing. If I'm a father of a
Hmm.
kid who aspires to be a college athlete, give me
Hmm.
your best advice.
Give it. Yeah. Yeah. I would just make sure that they always, you can obviously you just can't want it for them, but you gotta. If I was a father, I would do everything in my power to give them everything, to give them every opportunity, like you're doing an amazing job, uh, taking them and putting your son around high level coaches, high level
Mhm.
players, because I think that's really important to for them to see it, to see what that looks like, to see what it takes, and yeah, just allow the game to still be fun. I think some people get so caught up in the journey that they lose sight that the game is built on joy and love, and it's hard to be a college athlete, to be a professional athlete if you don't really love it, and to really just foster that love for the game. I think that's probably the most important, just because I think back to my experience and being around, like I mentioned, what you're doing with your son is very similar to what I was afforded the opportunity being around high level players and high level coaches to see it up close, but also to allow that love to be fostered for the game. You know, whether it's watching it, whether it's working out, working on your game, playing it. Um, so finding that love and then doing everything in your power to to provide those opportunities for your son or for your daughter to see it at a high level.
I'm sending Jonah to Northwestern.
We'll take you.
LCC, don't worry about the scholarship. I'll find the funding. I know some people. Uh, you sold me, brother.
Appreciate it.
And
Appreciate it.
and I'm a dad, a crazy one too. But I'll tell you one thing we do not do in my house. We never talk about the game in the car ride.
That's hard to do. That's hard to do. But I think a lot of
I
great,
care more about him than I do the game.
yeah. And I think that's where your son will always know that, and he'll feel that because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy like my experience growing up because my dad was hard on me,
Yeah,
and I actually got to that age. I give my grandpa a lot of credit, because we all lived in that same house, and he grabbed my dad one time. I was in like eighth grade, and my dad was coaching eighth grade and coaching me in eighth grade and coaching helping the varsity and everything. And my grandpa grabbed him and it was like, if you don't quit what you're doing, you're gonna lose him. Like he's not gonna lose the love for the game, but
right.
you are gonna lose him. Like your relationship is gonna be tarnished. So I give my grandpa a lot of credit for that because it is important. And it's hard because you care so much. You want to see your son be successful and everything. So that's a challenge. So I commend you for that because I know that's not easy to do.
It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do, brother. I'm going to tell you why. I love my son more than I love the sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it was opposite, then we would be having the car rides. But first of all, I am so blessed to be blessed with three children, healthy kids, great wife, right? Um, I'm blessed that my son, thank God, has the black genes and not the white genes. Um, he's super athletic, super coordinated. Like, you know how you know,
Yeah.
right? Like, so it's exciting, right? I kind of know a little
Yeah.
bit like
Yeah.
what his future will be. And he's really tall. He's really big as shit, right? Most
Awesome.
kids his age wear a size 2, he wears a size 4, right? Um, he's as big as my fourth and fifth graders, but he's as
Wow.
tough as my high school kids. And I don't need to have those car rides because as a father, I've instilled what I need from him already.
Hmm.
So I don't need to tell Jonah to play hard. He knows.
Hmm.
I don't need to tell Jonah, you know, you need to respect the coach. There's this guy in the south suburbs, you're gonna laugh at me. His name's Trey Blue. He has a thing called Blueprint. All these little kids, primarily black. So they're in South Holland. And I want to bring him on the pod because he has really good teams. So we were talking, and he's like, "Don't you have a 7-year-old?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why don't you bring him to me?" I'm like, "All right." And he's like, "Well, I just want to let you know, I yell and I curse a little bit." I go, "My son has been called a fucking bitch and a pussy so many goddamn times." I go, "Bro, he is gonna stare at you with a smile because he loves it. He
Yeah.
loves it." I told him when we went to NU practice, I said, "Listen, the coaches might get a little loud, they might yell. There might be some curse words." We got in the car, Mcintosh. He goes, "Nobody cursed. Like nobody yelled." Like he loves that. He
Yeah.
loves it. And he
Yeah.
knows. I taught him at a young age. I said, when they do that, that means they love you and they care about you so much, brother. I go, they love you. I go, and all those words, it's their heart
It's their
through
passion.
words,
Yeah.
right? And I
Mhm.
said, the minute the coach stops talking to you, I said, "Bro, you have an issue." I said,
Over.
"You have a major issue, brother."
Yeah. No, when they stop talking to you, it's over.
It's over,
Because
especially at your level. It's over.
no, no question. No question. Yeah. When coaches stop coaching you and stop getting on
Yep,
you, I
you're
mean
done.
it's over.
It's
Yeah.
done, man. The
Yeah.
relationship's over.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you very, very much. I think I've said that 10 times. Huge fan, and I can't wait for people to hear your narrative.
I appreciate you having me on. This is an awesome space and look forward to listening to others and hearing their journey and their story.
All right. All right, coach. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll talk to you. See you.